Today we will discuss about signaling during obesity. So in this topic we will study about obesity, the fat cycle, then what is leptin, its sources and structure. Then comes the main part of this topic, leptin receptor signaling pathways. Like whenever a leptin signal came and binds to the receptor, what kind of pathways are activated. Then we will discuss the weight loss cycle, and at the end we will shortly study about serum leptin detection and clinical utility. So let us start. Obesity. Obesity is increased body fat due to excess deposition of fat. Like whenever we eat food more than our body requirement, it will result in the weight gain, which will result in obesity. So it is a global scenario. We can see that all over the world obesity is increasing. It is not in a particular area. There could be multiple reasons, like we can see that excess use of fast food or less exercising, or other than that there could be some kind of genetic problem as well. Another definition for obesity is excess of body fat resulting from an imbalance between energy intake and expenditure. Like whenever we eat food, we gain energy. So we are gaining more energy, but we are not releasing it. We are not burning our calories. So it is one kind of imbalance situation which will lead to obesity. Obesity is measured by body mass index, and the formula is weight over height meter square. Now, the fat cycle. So the food we eat is stored in the form of triglycerides in the fat tissues, which are mainly adipocytes. They release leptin and the signal moves toward the brain. The part of brain known as hypothalamus is responsible for particular cellular response. So the response would be that the food intake would be increased and energy expended would be decreased, which will result in obesity. Leptin. Leptin is also known as hunger hormone. It is a peptide hormone which contains 167 amino acid residues. Obese gene OB encodes leptin, which is located on chromosome number 7 in humans. Leptin is a personal trainer. Now here comes the question that how a hormone can be a personal trainer. Yes, leptin could be a personal trainer because it sends signal to the brain that now we should stop eating. So it controls our appetite and also regulate energy balance. Sources of leptin. The main source of leptin is adipocytes, but placenta, ovaries, skeletal muscles, stomach, liver, mammary epithelial cells, bone marrow, and pituitary glands are also some minor sources of leptin. Structure of leptin. In this picture, it is very clear that we can see 4 antiparallel helices, like 1, 2, 3, 4, which are about 5 to 6 turns long. So here we can see 2 long loops and 1 shorter one, this AB, CD and VC. These are 3 loops, 2 are long and 1 is the shorter one. Okay, so these loops are basically connecting helices with each other. Okay. So next thing is leptin resembles with the membrane of cytokine family. Another important thing comes here, that the D helix, it contains disulfide bridges which perform 2 main functions. Number 1, proper folding, and number 2, the receptor binding. Okay, so now we will start the signaling part, but before starting the signaling part, here comes 5 main things we should remember. In any signaling pathway, if you will remember these 5 things, it would be easy for you to understanding that pathway. The number 1, signaling molecule. That what is the signaling molecule? Second thing, what is the receptor? Third one, second messengers or the activator, cellular activators. The fourth one is transcription factors, and the last one, what would be the cellular effect? The pathway. So before starting this pathway, I will discuss this picture over here so it would be easy to understand that from where actually leptin is coming. When we eat food, the food is stored in the adipose tissues in the form of triglycerides. So when we eat more food, more fats will be stored in this tissue, and when more fats will store, more leptin will be released. So if we eat more food, more leptin is releasing. So this released leptin will perform 2 main functions. The first one is inhibition of fat synthesis. So whenever we eat food, they are not being stored into the adipose tissues because leptin is performing this function. So as a result, what happens? The second function leptin is performing over here is it will stimulate fatty acid beta oxidation. So degradation will take place. So no more food will be stored, and the stored food will be degraded. This was the simple function of leptin, the two main functions it is performing. Now the leptin will move from the blood and will move toward a special any kind of cell where it will perform its function. So the very first pathway is the JAK-STAT pathway. So here we can see that our signaling molecule is leptin. Whenever the leptin came and binds to a leptin receptor monomer, which is a receptor, the receptor will form a dimer. When the receptor will form a dimer, it will activate the JAK proteins. So when the JAK proteins are phosphorylated, they will phosphorylate the cytosolic domains of the receptor. So when the cytosolic domains are phosphorylated, a protein came STAT protein, which is mainly here STAT3 protein. It will came and it will bind with the phosphorylated part. Same case will be done with another protein, and when both of these two proteins are phosphorylated, they will form a dimer. Now this dimer is also known as STAT dimer. The STAT dimer will enter into the nucleus. In the nucleus, what happens that this dimer will bind to the target gene and will upregulate that gene. So in this case, it will upregulate gene which are mainly neuropeptides. So neuropeptides will send the message to the brain, which will mainly result in decrease in hunger and increase of satiety. Another picture over here, it will show that two other main pathways which will activated whenever a leptin signal came. So the center one was JAK-STAT pathway, which we have already studied. Now we will study about the MAP kinase pathway and P13K and ACT pathway. So MAP kinase pathway, it is quite simple pathway, but what happens over here that whenever the JAK protein is activated, it will activate the cytosolic domain also. And now we have a GRB2, which is basically an adapter. GRB2 cannot directly bind with the cytosolic domain, so it has another cannot bind with the cytosolic part. So it has a domain which is known as SHP2 domain. SHP domain will bind with the cytosolic part of the receptor, and what happens, it will activate the whole GRB2 molecule. Now this GRB2 molecule will activate the RAS protein, and RAS protein is the main component for the MAP kinase pathway. JAK proteins which are phosphorylated can directly activate the RAS protein as well. So whenever the RAS protein is activated, it will activate RAF protein. RAF proteins are also known as MAP kinase. Now RAF protein will activate or phosphorylate MEK12, which is known as MAP kinase. This MEK12 will also phosphorylate MAP kinase or ERK, which is the final product of this pathway. So yes, so this was basically the simplest form of MAP kinase pathway. Another pathway which is taking place after the leptin signal came is P13K or ACT pathway. So what is happening over here, that we have P13K which cannot bind with the domain, which cannot bind with the cytosolic part. So what is happening over here, that P13K has an adapter part P85 which will attach IRS12 with itself. When it will bind with this P85, the whole molecule of P13K will activate. Now this activated P13K molecule, it will activate PIP3, which will finally activate the ACT, which is phosphorylated. Now this ACT will perform various functions, like it can form apoptosis, cell survival, and many other cellular responses. So these were the three main pathways during this process. In this picture, I have explained mainly about everything except SOX3 and PTB1B. So let us discuss about these two. First of all, I will discuss about PTB1B. So what is it? It is tyrosine protein phosphate non-receptor 1. It is basically an enzyme which is the member of PTB family. So what is the main function of PTB1B? It inhibits the leptin pathway. Okay. So the second thing over here was SOX3. When the STAT dimer binds with the gene, SOX3 was present over there. It moves in the cytosol and will bind with the tyrosine residue 985 and 1077. By this binding, and we will get a signal which will inhibit the JAK2 additional sites, and as a result the leptin pathway will stop. Okay. Now we will discuss about the difference between normal and obese condition. In the normal condition, the leptin came and binds to the receptor. As a result, JAK protein is phosphorylated and will phosphorylate the cytosolic domain as well, and then the dimer will form and it will enter into the nucleus. As a result, we will get a cellular response, which would be that we will take less food and which will result in leanness. In this case, PTB1B is not activated that much, so what will happen, that the process will carry on. But whenever we eat more food, more leptin will be released. As a result, what will happen, that PTB1B gene will highly activate and it will stop the pathway. Like JAK proteins will not further phosphorylate, and they will not phosphorylate the cytosolic domain, no dimer will be formed, and as a result we will get a response which we will take more food, which will lead to obesity. Eat food, this food, the excess food, like the food which was required by our body is used, and the remaining one, the excess one, is stored as fat. Now this excess food which is stored is stored in the fat cell. So the fat cell will secrete leptin, and we know the function of leptin, it is to give signal to the brain, which will result in decreased appetite. Serum leptin detection. Serum leptin can be detected by two methods, whether it could be ELISA technique or it could be HPLC method. Comes clinical utility. Whenever we see that our OB gene is mutant or there is any kind of defection in OB gene, what we have to do is to take leptin injections. And when DB gene is mutant or our DB gene is defective, we should take leptin and amylin therapy.